Today, na the 18th day of August 2020. We want for Kallon at table, waiting the bank governor of Sierra Leone talk today. We know say we all concerned about the economy of Sierra Leone. Not too long ago, maybe like a week ago or two, we begin here where we assess the Bank of Sierra Leone, which they don't play in a salon, and the bank governor. But today, I don't know if we go say finally don't begin for speak out, but he open up and make me and you, if we really pay attention, we go able for understand how the financial sector they do na salon. And waiting at the policies them, waiting at the advice them, we in dongi. We some work, with some no work, due to the government or due to other stakeholders them, we for make this thing work. But first, make we look on the coronavirus numbers them for today. Unfortunately, I'll not be able to join the daily updates because I really forget a question on this one. But we'll give them a pass. Today, 670 tests was analyzed. From when they began analyzing the salon, one day reach this number. But me, Tripoli, even though when Major Guevara began this number, the spokesperson, Solomon Jamiru, began for halt and they say for clap for them. Because this one a remarkable number. I for don't clap, but you know what hold me clap back? Because remember, for the past week, then be always the average over 300, 349, 360. But yesterday, now 186 tests. 186 tests, then they analyze. We will make me feel to say, all the results, they're not be coming, just like how we plan to get them. They're not coming. So because all not be coming yesterday, today now I make we get 0 yesterday because now 186. So the rest way coming today, added with the 24 hours one way then do, now in carry this go to 670. That's not just triple in wild thinking. But still yet, we don't see this them where they don't transfer, say when we get the balance result, it go come, it's still not rich here. So based on that, we go still say kudos. But me, I don't say a clap for the neighbor. I still not a clap. If they're not trust for the previous days until I go clap. Because me, I believe say, I not go one for go ask and say what thing be happen and what's not. But me believe say this one. Yesterday it was 186. The balance will not be can. Now in the area make it reach 670. But it's a remarkable number anyway. Based on the number of positive cases where we get. For we get 670 tests analyzed. Then we only get 3 positive cases. Well, I yonder me one clap for we the salon people them. 3. And the 3, if we break them down, Kennemana 2, Kallon 1. Out of 670, Kenema 2, Kallon 1. 3 cases. We don't try. Make we keep on that way. Now the zeros them. Yesterday we don't get 0. You know, for be good if we get 0 back today. But make we continue for doing the well body people and say for do. The cumulative confirmed case now in Salone don't reach 1,959. 1,959. For the past 24 hours, nobody no die of COVID-19 in Salone. So we still stand at a total number of 69 for the one them we don't die of COVID-19. The one them we in isolation center right now, we get the virus na them body na 361. Cumulative recoveries. For the past 24 hours, we get 23 people we don't recover from COVID-19. 23 people we recover from COVID-19. We don't carry the cumulative number to 1,529. 1,529. The one that more in quarantine now 573. The one that more on discharge from quarantine now 10,194. Now, don't forget to attend the big idea of the week. For say, if you love your community, you go care yourself, go na community care center. Because waiting do? Because you love your community. We hope say we go continue for do waiting the well body people and say na Salone so that we go beat COVID-19. I'll make we go into a program proper for today. The bank governor, Professor Kelfala Kallon, beget an engagement today na Radio Democracy 98.1. And I go say now open up, or finally feel say it's high time if things then they happen behind closed doors, they make any effect, and we didn't know how they blame them, make you begin for talk. And advice we don't they give government, say, for make them look inside taxes. Because waiting do, not to we one grain day, na that region they way we day. Me and you as Sierra Leoneans them, we sabi beaucoup people them, where instead of then ship something go directly in Salone, inside in the passer, not to Guinea. They say even if now 1% safe, we take pass like a Guinea. We use Guinea as an example. They say then go divert go there instead of waiting, instead of bring and come inside Sierra Leone. Whether one day it go say na lost revenue for the government of Sierra Leone, because the government of Sierra Leone they make a lot of money raising taxes and the money they come out. So they feel say if they reduce them, they not go get better money. That thing we in the talk show from July to August is say the exchange rate it be fluctuates, it not be correct, it be broko. But what's in the reason we in talk? It say because that thing the government pay beaucoup contractors them. But the other side we in the talk now say because they no one go put them money then they in a bank. Go and make you wonder, say, how government pay them people here? How government pay them when they no one go put the money in a bank? For saying a bank transfer or whatever, then go then pull the money there, then they can begin look na black markets for change dollar. According to what he say that particular attendee, the foreign exchange been broko because beaucoup Leones when in government pay the contractors them be they out there and the contractors they no one go put their money in a bank unless if you not talk and fine, but not so easy. Then get the Leones there, then give the boy them for gonna treat. How then get the Leones there? The other time, somebody be they ask now, say, if them dollar boys then still in at it. The bank governor don't answer we. Say then try for work with the police them. But how then they turn out for be? When they try for work with the police them, how it turn out for be? He say no work. Cooperation no day. institutions then as Sierra Leone, not they work together for make Salone be a better country. Because if we economy don't team up triangle one, if police don't do their own, the banks don't do their own, then the dollar boys them where the bank governor be the point finger pa, they not forbidden a street again. Law officers say that they charge guys is in blue because the bank governor go catch them, then they do business in dollar. You know, say now, na Salone enough for do business in dollar. Na Leone see for do business in. Long matter short, then carry the case go, police charge go, law officers come say yes, then the charge go court. The next day, then can tell the bank governor back say, case no they got this in blue, no get no case for answer. Nayana Salone. Yeah. IMF they give mark. Now I make some people like in points by IMF. We go carry waiting the governor say about Usai IMF, then be they speculate say the dollar rates for be right now in a Salone. But the governor they claim say with in policies the way they don't put in place, now I make no reach day. He says something then the IMF they call and say, waiting you do. Way now so we be they expect make the rates look like IMF, World Bank. Thing for be more tranga if them policy then way they now not for them be there in place. The bank governor come well equipped. You already flipping paper then. It out in chart all thing. We get for produce, we get for increase the quality of we products, and we get for exports. Now then tinya, now ain't go make the Sierra Leone in Leones appreciate against the dollar. Are we paying attention? The bank governor say, no country no day. We don't get gentry by natural resources. Invest in human capital, invest in infrastructure. Now the word that, if we focus no more on the mining, we go get growth, but with increased poverty. Because the one them, we go better from that mining day, not just small amount of people them. Let's say now we go upline, and other provinces, then go say waiting, surface rent, now then can pay. To that area, they no more. We then done, then total everything then go. The most secure source of foreign currency go be exports. Now the most secure source of foreign currency. But we are back where the bank governor tell we say, no country no get rich through natural resources. But that one day, we go left them on the side for debate. The policy we sell. Now, I can't tell the government, I can't tell the bank how much he make in proceeds. Pass and through side, we on bank na Salone. Now that way day, now we go able to know how much them companies they make. This one, I may not agree with the bank governor. It's in a side agreement. Now so the law say, but side agreements day. If the side agreement, they don't table an a parliament, na law. Now side agreement again, and they're not to side agreement too, because they don't table an a parliament and it don't turn the law. With Goti, we come back. Would I Salone police? Would I parliament? Bank of Salone, then get a law and say, but waiting pass as law, na parliament. And not the team up. Bank of Salone law, not the team up before them. Like I said earlier, at the big way. Today when we call, we deal with exactly waiting the bank governor say. I know we can begin give blanket statements now. No. Based on the fact saying I saw the bank governor say, this now waiting you say. Now so I want we do today. Bokutin where the bank governor don't bring to light today. Think the way you be know, think the way you not be know. Now we can there with a blame. Now we can there with the sound the alarm. Now we can there we can say, this wire no right. And today, finally somebody within begin for talk. There are some things that I know say you no go agree with, myself no go agree with. But somebody within, there are some critical things then they will lay at table where I think say me and you for definitely grab hold of. Make we call to Smantoli, make he help we for pick one or two things them where we don't lay at table. So yes, Usmantoli, you get the platform, sir.
Thank you very much, AAA, for having me. There's a lot of things where the bank governor don't highlight, but I will choose some of the most important ones. But before I do that, I just want to highlight on the critical issues, the problems, we are facing, the fundamental problems, where they affect we in terms of monetary policies. One, we get issue with enforcement and compliance, as you don't listen to the bank governor. That's not one. Number two, bad laws. Number three, you talk about low productivity, especially in terms of the agricultural sector. And you also mentioned things like higher taxes and lack of diversification. Clearly, from what you don't talk, a summary of some of the significant flaws we get. And before I move for talk about some of these issues and tell you how we get the flaws I just want to make a quick distinction here. We get what we call monetary policy and we get what we call fiscal policy. The monetary policy and the bank, central bank, headed by the bank governor, now you're responsible for that. So now your side, they talk about what are the monetary policies. The fiscal policy, where the Minister of Finance, JJ Safar, now they do with the taxes and government spending. So they don't get nothing for do with that, but they advise on those issues. Clearly, it state that, yeah. So now talk about monetary policy where the bank governor they talk about and how them problems here underscore with arguments. You talk about the exchange rates. We talk about the exchange rate, especially in terms of dollarization. We can quite remember sometimes last year, then they try for make sure, see, then this street trade in terms of dollars, then get rid of them. A law was passed. So anybody with a cage, we not a registered person for sell dollars and buy dollars in the street or foreign currency in the street, we and catch them and for deal with them. Yeah, that law was passed. But a fundamental question is that law the old water. We all know say clearly in our old water. He mentioned that. The reason simply because you don't give me examples. Yeah, you talk about lack of enforcement, lack of compliance from we the citizens. Then people then still they do that dollar business in the street. Yeah, he give an example in the case of Radisson Blue, where then it's even charged in dollars. What happened? Where then can go to those people we for supposed to prosecute them, they say case no day. So they were never prosecuted. Yeah. So there is clearly an issue of enforcement and compliance there. So now one of the major problems this will get. And clearly, the relationship between that dollarization and the exchange rate. Basically, black market rate is higher than the official rate. So because the black market rate is higher than the official rate, so it will always get a negative impact on the exchange rate. Yeah? So now make them try to get rid of this dollarization. But clearly, the police, they not cooperate. And, we blame the police. Maybe they don't charge one person for trial for send and go court. Then the prosecution can say there is no case. So then drop them. So we will expect the police them for the enforce the law. No. Because they don't say anything we will arrest somebody, then we'll just say there is no case. So basically, that's the try for talk. And the other thing also, where we talk about, we also look very clear, say, they know what's the problem. Even the bank governor himself, he say, the banks then, when are the commercial banks, yeah, then for operate only now registered addresses. In other words, what is the try for tell me? They no say commercial banks, they trade outside official hours and official places then. So there is some dubious activity they go on. Yeah? Some external activity they go on. Where she mentioned that, say now commercial bank for trade like a registered address at a registered time. Yeah? So they know about the problems. Yeah? And also we talk about the auctioning of $5 million US. Again, we don't talk about this AAA. You think, say, this policy actually they achieve intended purpose? Because all what in the auctioning of the dollar want to do, so that especially those small business systems, then they're able to access the foreign currency, especially during this post-COVID-19 or towards the end of COVID-19, would expect a small business system will buy the dollar for go do the import activities then. But most of the time, we not say this money, they end up in the hands of those people we're supposed to get them. Instead, they end in the hands of the wrong people we will end up for go sell them at a higher price. So the beneficiaries, the one that we're supposed to benefit from them, they get them. So the auction in itself, they get what we call an intended purpose. Yeah. Again, he talked about licensing of the South Post. Yeah, the post office, so that they go to sell dollars or foreign currency to people who want small amount, then $500, $1,000. That would have been a good idea. But again, AAA, we asked the question. Yeah, remember the other day he said, know your customers. Yeah, fish again. This is go back to square one. Outside the post office will only sell to people that way they sabi, instead of selling to the one that we supposed to get them. These are some of the fundamental questions. If you say this model when they try to introduce, it will be effective. That's another question. That would have been a good one for licensing the post office, for ensure, especially the small customers, then they're able to go to the post office, then go buy them dollar, at the same time, then sell them dollar. Yeah? But how effective, how efficient, if you say this will be, when we'll end up in the hands of the wrong people. That's again a fundamental question we ask. Again, one other important thing we mentioned, they talk about advice to the Minister of Finance. Yeah? The Minister of Finance, we know say, they're responsible for taxation and government spending. And we all know they cry over this issue. Yeah? Those people who are importing, where they go buy from other countries, they bring Ghana with country. This issue of import duties, taxes, tariffs, excise duty, where they impose on people who they bring goods into the country is too expensive, too exorbitant. You find out, say, at some point, business people, they go buy, they go Conakry. Now then they go pay the import duty because it was by far lower than that of Sierra Leone. So in that respect, Salon government did loss. So advice at the time was that the government, the Minister of Finance, for make sure try to reduce those import duties so that we become very competitive with neighboring countries then. Yeah, this is apparent. It's very clear that they happen. Yeah. Okay. The other thing again also where you talk about, I think Kallon mentioned this in terms of lack of enforcement and compliance, where the police did not already give up. And he also talk about the IMF. Very important. Yeah. According to your submission, he said the IMF, they expect see we exchange rate by now for no higher than that of what they go on right now. They expect and say for only 15,000 loans to $1. But as it stands, from what I read from Radio Democracy, I think it's about 10,080 loans or so. 10,080 loans. Yeah. So in Toxi, IMF, they expect say we exchange it for no higher than that. How can IMF just, they believe say, I don't know what now the logic behind that, because they feel say, the exchange rate, it actually depreciate in terms of the dollar. I don't know why if IMF will advise them in terms of that. It brings a lot of graphs regionally for compare Salon to other countries such as Guinea. You talk about Ghana. You talk about Nigeria. Yeah, by your own comparison, it talks say Salon exchange rates on average, they appreciate against those currencies. Now, your own submission that, but I will come Bill on that very shortly. Well, one important question about this exchange rate, we only talk about exchange rate. It influence inflation. It causes inflation simply because if the dollar go up, you expect see where you take that dollar, they go buy in other country. The rate at which you go up, when you come, you expect to recover that. So therefore, it impact on inflation. And don't forget, inflation not just high prices. And that mean so exchange rate, therefore, the influence exchange rate influence inflation. It causes inflation, in other words. Yeah. What in your own submission in terms of voting they cause this exchange rate? Yeah. It make a number of recommendations. You say low increase productivity. Yeah. For increase the quality of the goods then. Yeah. Or for the export more. Yeah. You say for the diversify the economy. And then look after feeder roads, rehabilitation of these rural roads, where the farmers they use for transport the goods them from one region to the other, or from one town to the other, or from one village to the other, which is quite correct. Because the issue about productivity, and I think this way, I think so we only mentioned about that. Productivity, we know they produce more in our country in terms of agriculture. Yeah. And the reason simply being that the agricultural sector has been neglected over the years. Yeah. And clearly, by one of my submissions to this house, is that we get what we call a country-specific advantage in terms of agriculture. Yeah, so for pay more attention to it. Yeah, but as it stands, although agriculture all by itself is not sufficient enough, because you get to look after the feeder roads. Yeah, you get to make sure you produce quality product. Yeah, and subsequently, we are going to feed ourselves, and the rest of it you export them to other countries. So, in other words, agriculture will help in terms of diversification. Now the other side, they look where they talk about. Yeah, we know they diversify. And there is one interesting point before I left. Yeah, in terms of the mining sector, it's partly correct. Yeah, but also it's not partly. It's not also absolutely correct. In the sense that the mining sector, not that it's not a profitable venture, but because of bad laws, because of mismanagement, because of corruption, I don't know if not that you mean, if those things were not there, corruption not been there, mismanagement not been there, yeah, bad deals not been there, bad laws, I think say other countries they don't benefit from the mining sector, but Sierra Leone not benefit much from the mining sector simply because of bad laws by our parliamentarians, them, because of mismanagement, because of corruption. Yeah, we know about those corrupt deals. Yeah, and we see USA Parliament they disagree at one time. Then shortly after, when the brown envelope don't pass, then they will agree back to them, say, yeah, let's sign this deal. Yeah? We've seen many of those things. If they see somebody single-handedly with a minister, it will sign a contract just because he get you benefits where they go down promise them behind closed doors. Yeah? So those are some of the issues then where I feel say important for all they talk about on a regular basis. Yeah, and when you talk about exchange rate, why it is important? Why it is important in terms of export or for the export more? Yeah, when you talk about balance of trade, you know, when we talk about balance of trade, we say the amount of goods them will the export is far less than what you would import. So therefore, the balance of payment, the benefit we in terms of exchange rate. All the money, before the money, would use them, it is leak in other countries then. Because what you do, the countries then will go buy and then they profit from we foreign exchange. But before I left you, one important, interesting observation. I think AAA, you mentioned that. And this is issue of bad laws. Yeah? Critical question asked by the presenter here. I don't know if it's Khadija or Mabel or one of them. Yeah? He say, this mining contracts, then people are away, they can't invest in our country. Yeah? By rights, yeah, according to statutory agreements, law, it say the proceeds if of depositor na the bank. Now from that deposit the way they put in the bank, now they will determine how much make profit, how they will tax you, yeah, how you will take them out of the country. Yeah. But again, this is why we talk about bad laws. There are side agreements, and this is statutory. This is legal as well. It's been legalized. Talk about the mining sector. Yeah, who say, then give them exemption. Say, you can charge in dollar. You can do this. You don't need for put on a bank. You can take your proceeds outside, unknowingly to the bank. That again is highly problematic. How then we do short laws? That is problematic. Those are the issues that we talk about bad laws. So for conclude, enforcement and compliance, especially on the side of the courts. I think the police then say they charge. They want charge the first go. But the prosecution say there is no case. So then drop the case. So what thing will make the police then go ahead with it for arrest next time. So therefore, it puts them off. Yeah? They get low productivity. We get for produce more. Especially in terms of agriculture. Because the mining sector, at the moment, we know it's not doing well. Yeah? The tax system, especially in the water key. Yeah, the key. Then therefore be competitive with other countries then. Otherwise, we will lose out to neighboring countries then. Yeah? We'll therefore be very competitive. Otherwise, we will lose out to other neighbors then. We therefore diversify. Yeah? Don't just concentrate on the mining sector. The mining sector don't let me down. We'll pay more attention to agriculture, feeder roads, quality product them. It has to be managed. It has to be well managed. Not just, mechanized farming. We will lead to agro-processing. Those are when they talk about problem solving, those are the areas then we'll go for look at. Yeah? So I will stop here. Now give chance to other panelists. Then. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Usman Toli. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Dr. Aissatou Kake Jalo Mikuyeri, waiting to get for we. Yes, doctor. Waiting a contribution.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and I hope everybody will do well. With the COVID-19 status update, I think you still need for clap for them.
I keep that clap.
Okay. Because at least they don't hit a new mark, and I want follow just encourage them to do more. We hope say this not only trust from yesterday, this now like really a new number we then will begin to target and for the go higher so that we will really know exactly what's in the number of cases then of COVID-19, and then we want for let them keep the number of people that we don't die, in that same rate day 69, and the 3 new cases, like you said, it would have been nice, if we yesterday we'll get 0 cases, we try for staying there for like 2 weeks, then we will really know, salon we they get somewhere. But, I just want to say, well done to the team, but we hope say, really, then we'll continue for do more testing. And also we want to tell the healthcare workers, them, don't really forget in between, some of our programs, we want to tell them thank you for the hard work and the good work we then do now, then the soldiers and right now in the country. And then we hope say them continue, and we hope everybody, a speedy recovery, anybody where they deal with COVID-19 right now, the one that we don't lost their life, like, God, sorry for them, and want them really, we not get this virus here, so, let not hit them, let them take the necessary precaution and measures them to ensure, say, they stay safe, keep themselves safe, their families safe, the community safe, and Sierra Leone at large. Try to keep Sierra Leone safe. And those people that we really don't recover from COVID-19, I think it will make sense for let them begin to think of, really donating plasma. We have don't mention that before, because some of them and they can really help with the people where they really suffer with COVID-19. Then we want to go into today's program with the bank governor, I want to say it highlights so many things. There were true insight on really for which we not being able to understand, or maybe some of we don't understand. Some people do understand. For me, I want to start to say it begins with the statement say, what thing we don't do na salon. All we don't do na salon na for bandage is to foot. Right? Bandage is to foot instead of letting the sore, or the wound heal properly, or meaning to find out what are the root cause of the problem. Because if you find out what are the problem from the beginning, you will know how to address the issue. Right? So like somebody will get, sore or will get some kind of infection, you want to know what are the bacteria where they cause that infection there. Right? So instead they use a medical analogy to say, if you don't know exactly what is the cause of the disease or the virus, you treat the person with any kind of random antibiotics there, you really need to treat the problem. Because when they do the wound culture, when it come back, it give you a different strength of antibiotics, and we go walk or we not go walk, we go be say resistant and things like that. So some of the problem then are salon, not in that. And then, we don't know the root cause of the problem, so you definitely cannot fix the problem. So by knowing that, it would help, and you'll be able to address exactly what is the cause of this. And then he mentioned, something about, let the government try for reduced taxes to avoid, lost revenue into the country. Because, take for example, if you go to our store, this store today, for just not to buy the store, then they sell something under for $100, but then you go to the next store and then get them for even $90. AAA, as trust me, now they go, we sell and they sell at $90. They go sell $100 a day, okay? Because I actually did similar thing. There's something I bought online, one was, 20% discount, and then the other one was 25%. What do you think I did? I returned the 20% discount. I bought the one that was 25% discount. Okay? You have to find ways in how you can try to keep your money, right, within your home or within your, your country or your organization or whatever you do. So the government would really need to listen. Right? So this not something that we don't highlight. I hope say then we listen for most say Guinea, they under Liberia, they under people then can ship container than at Guinea because why? It's not stressful. I will tell you that because I get a family member with a ship container now Freetown and as well as Guinea. Right? But it can usually do more containers than Guinea. Why? Because, the stress and the hassle what people go through, the port salon, you really do that in Guinea. And then it find out, say, it do more of the trips than the one way it do in a salon. And then, it talk about, the government try for pay people them, with, loans, right? Because some of them contractors they are so now, they find it very difficult for going to bank for go try for deposit their money. Why the government for try for pay people that in loans? Why not go try some kind of electronic way of paying people or writing checks? Then they go encourage them for let them go and deposit their money into the bank rather than going on the street out there, and then they encourage the dollar boys them where they say them don't put law for ban them off the street so that the money will stay within, the bank system. So people don't go to utilize, the only the areas and where they say you approved to do this kind of transaction, right? So, and then the police and the police system and as well as the judiciary has a lot to do with some of these laws. Because then they reinforce the law, and when they put laws in, you get for work collectively. Yes, the bank governor and the team go for say, now this we feel so we need for do. These are some of the loopholes. If we tighten these loopholes, we will be able to, strengthen this particular problem. But no, then just want to continue for this bribery, because I have to say some of these things are corruption. People not reinforcing laws have to deal with corruption. Just because somebody give you a bit of change, right? Something where you say, when you use that one, they don't. You go put the country, in interest at jeopardy. Really, people ain't going to be loyal to the profession where they choose for do, and for make sure that they really, do Sierra Leone justice in what they're going to do. Right? So, and then we really want for hold police officers they're accountable. If they tell you say something to go on at a specific location, make sure you investigate them. If you don't say it's beyond you, get the ACC involved, because now that's 9 for Radisson Blue. Why make them they go accept, dollars as the payment when they don't put a law say you not for do business transactions in dollars. You have to do it in the local currency. When at the Leones, we were then also overseas anywhere. You have to use, the currency that they're using, whether not Europe, whether not America. Now that's what you use. If you get foreign money, you can go change them. A bank on an exchange center, so, and unless Radisson Blue, they say, okay, now MasterCard or now Visa, and people that they pay the transaction in, that's not different thing, because, that's not something where you can utilize at every hotel or things like that. So they need for reinforce the law and try for find people them where it really violate the laws, because I don't buy television at Freetown. At that day I get dollar na me and then the man tell me, say, no, this not the India man. They tell me now, say, go hold the dollar. If anything, if they give me the receipt, if they give me the item, I go change the money, I come back to them. right? And that was true integrity in terms of following the rules and regulations of the country. And for that reason, I will continue to buy items to that kind of person, because you know what? He respects my country in law. He respects what in and tell him for do. Right? So law will hope say everybody will take an example of that. And then we, the Sierra Leoneans, them also will try for reinforce that law and then try for avoid them kind of thing, and then when they try for put the country down. Right? The other thing in terms of why, they get so much rapid influx of money on the street, because, nobody let it get paid in checks. People are getting paid in cash, So if you not pay people there in electronic form, the money just for them at the street rather than in the bank. Really, personally, you don't need money in your hand. I barely work with money. I work with money if I really have to do something. I use me card for withdraw money where I know say I need them, or I use them to do transactions. I know many of us are doing this now. You can see somebody in the town and say, "Oh, you need this." They say, "I don't work with money. I don't have cash." Right? Most of them say they're not getting money in their bank account too, but they're not just they work out with money. Right? For so many reasons, you don't work with money anymore. So they'll try to improve that system the way can to cashless payments and ways of improving the economy, because the finance minister, I hope say they really listen to the governor, because he says so many things where we say if you take the advice, then we'll try for strengthening this, and the people that were in charge of the law, let themselves take some advice now. So, but yes, I agree with you on one thing where he talk about that side agreement. Say if they don't put something, say the money for count within the bank before it gets out of the bank, but if they don't talk about it, not parliament, so then they can supersede. That makes no sense. That you're already telling us it's a law that says it's okay to do that. So how do we expect our country to go forward? That means we're not going to go forward. If law therefore says you do this, then we'll fine you. Find the business person that is doing this. So then we'll not say to say for do. If you can't do it in another country, don't do it in Sierra Leone. Because Kallon, not a place for law do it. No more. We just throw we on them out there. Una go. Una need to stay now. No, we need to try to keep we self. We own things that within we country. If we do that, then our economy will grow. Then we will try for create, let them put them with self where one can do investment. And we say this country, they're serious, they're sober, they need to take nonsense, right? But then if they say you country, everything are just bribery and things like that, they're going to do anything they want. Now they're not going to take the gentry out of the country, and then the people in our salon just they suffer. Really Sierra Leoneans, they Lord work together, Lord do we job, Lord do them diligently, Lord do them because we let them, and Lord try for find all the ways that you creative in something, come with the ideas, try for let people understand, say, this will for do, and this never make the country go before. And I'm sure if we all do that, we can do well. We talk about the country A and country B, people that way they try for spend lavishly, and the one that we can let for save. So this is my advice to you guys. You got to be wise in how you spend your money. And in that way, that means too, we need to try to export more and import less. In that way, we can really try to maintain money within Sierra Leone. Thank you very much. I think I will stop now today.
Hashtag,
we won't forget money in our salon rather than out of Sierra Leone. I don't know how to put that today. It didn't come on. Okay?
Okay.
So you do the hashtags.
Well, still Salon strong. We can still left and day.
Okay. Hashtag Salon tough.
All right. Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. My favorite hashtag. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring a question on board one day that if people know all the hashtags that I've been talking about, they're going to get a gift from me. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Isato.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Whose friend, you get a platform, sir. Waiting on your contribution.
Hello, AAA. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. Thanks very much for the previous analysis, and welcome to everybody who will listen to it this night, this morning, or wherever you find yourself. Welcome on the platform. Me on side, what the doctor they say regarding the wound. He tried to give an illustration regarding the economy of the country or the situation of the country, how it turned up in terms of the economic development. He tried to talk about an issue where they don't know, maybe they're not able to know what's in the treatment or they're not able to diagnose. But on the other side again, like if we try to be truthful with the governor for today in your speech, we will really realize he know the problem we the country get in terms of economic stability for let the country economy go stable. All right. So he tried to analyze waiting are the issues them where he don't experience in terms of the inputs where he try to come bring inside your sense where he get inside the economy. All right. It looks sound well. So we get to look and now say, all right, now because of policies, what he try to emphasize a lot about policies. He say either because of the exchange rates or he say because of the exports, the way that they manage them and the way that they sell the dollar, or the way that they pay the partners and where they can do the business and salon, or sponsors that they do sponsorship to certain economic institutions that are salon. He try to comment more on policies where it don't bring down where they're not able to appreciate in some way if they look at what it is. You see, I like, first of all, in terms of the security, in terms of waiting the law enforcement they do, the agencies there. I like on few areas that would elapse. Therefore, even give example of one case where they don't deal with, where they don't deal with it the way it wants. Then they try to see the suggestion they have to give. So now they suggest it, pay them people in this type of way, then this will improve the economy of the country because the money not will go out. They give back another loophole wherein the people they take money, they give people to go buy, waiting at the dollar inside the market, not to government one, not to bureau, not just the one that with the outside. And then if they try for CC, waiting, then people then they try for do. Clearly, now a kind of safe haven they defend for the economy. The money what they get or the income what they want for develop in terms of what they do, now they secure them in terms of forex. And that forex they don't go directly to the government for them to profit them. Then they actually keep them physically and they allow that money to circulate. And we don't go get any money, we will exchange so that we will get import them, we will be at a value, we will reduce the rate of inflation inside the country. So that side, the government, as they say, they understand the problem. The bank governor. Bank governor don't say it's the problem, but waiting now the treatment. The treatment, there's the treatment, but they're not able to buy the right treatment to the right person. So now for us, that analysis where we doctor give is very good, but yeah, now they really know the problem. But what did they fail for do? Now who side then they go buy the right treatment for that wound day. Then we prefer for go buy them when a cheap product for can put them they would know well. Or then go ignore the price where they know say this is a price because of the value of them, they'll pay for them or they'll negotiate for them. So you therefore look say that thing that I don't become between a battle between the fiscal policy and the monetary policy. And the fiscal policy will not say now the finance minister they look about it. Now they manage the government in spending and taxation rate. Then you look at the taxation rate where it comments about. Say lower the taxation rate in terms of imports so that there will be at least people that will encourage them for imports and then go get a turnover where will reduce the price of goods. Because if the person don't travel for go another area for go pay, in that payment they go pay, they go pay your money. Not to pay we own income na salono. Now they own money. Because we now will lack GDP at the moment, the gross domestic product. I like say it not they help because production not they. And what is the production? It try for emphasize agriculture. It try for rule out say any country will get the source of economy from the minerals, they not go progress. Or you don't ever see a country to be actually not quoted directly. You don't ever see country who don't develop from the natural resources. But that side is actually a little bit vague. I feel saying another perspective, another area they look at, because if they look at Salon and the corruption would they behind natural resources, because most of the natural resources will they bring about corruption. Now one way you go able to put in your pocket, now one way you go able to put in your bag, or now one way you go able to change to any way we not look cumbersome heavy for carry. So those are the type of minerals we likely talk about. But when it comes to bigger minerals like oil, iron ore, because like iron ore, Australia is booming in iron ore. Now they give them most of the revenue. So these are natural resources. We're natural, not the land. But it depends on the type of resources we own get and how we the manager. But it don't come, I like against it. When will they get this natural resources? We allow people them for sell them at a price where nothing, they can't be in that. The tax where they can't be in that, the profit. So obviously, we're not going to look at them. Only two we'll go look at now effective exports, the exchange rates. He mentioned them, but he said that one in a small part of this. But it comes still again for emphasizing infrastructural development. He like say the road them, now he go lead for let the farmers then not go spend money for that Okada, we go spend more money for bring an atom. The road will fine, he go able for canceling goods will not go perish. Then the production again, he not mention about them, but the production is left to who that? Now the fiscal policy, who that now the finance minister inside that one day. So you can't look, say there is nothing working in concert between the bank, central bank, and the government where the organ were responsible for the economic development, one of the finance minister in other areas, they know they work in concert. Whether the man within at the finance side, he gets his own idea where they look at the economy, and then the man at the bank governor, they look at based on the actual experience what you don't get from far-fetched, you don't go outside, you don't come back, you don't look here, you don't ask. So all that one they try to bring them. So there is no concert between the fiscal, the finance minister and the bank governor. So these are the areas where they get for try to look into. If they wait now the rest them or now the one the way they look over this, or at least we get the president, we get the vice, we get other authorities, we get other bodies that we're concerned. So they go able to look into this, they go say, well, are we going to try the idea with the bank governor bring? Are we going to override some of the things then? But we not go just they go with side agreements. Side agreements, they are not been working because they say still these are acts of parliament where the bank in own acts is not able to surpass them. So obviously they got to review the areas wherein there must be a relay between the bank governor and the finance minister. Just like another example, we will take, and moving on to the topic, you say the judiciary, you get the attorney general, you get this. So all those kind of things, they are related, they are working in concert, wherein they will come, they have a briefing, they will get meetings, wherein they will be able to agree on one thing. Not to one person, they look at something no more in you. Because the monetary aspect, and they look at the exchange rates and the housing markets, it depends on the political prices then. The political prices them and the policy they would bring towards the price of that policy would then bring it to. And if we be independent, enough for able to sell anything out of what the government say. Now then they even sell when they say treasury bonds. But people are not buying treasury bonds because they feel say at this time of the economy within at the world now, they're not going to buy treasuries. All what they buy now, people and they either buy gold or those who cannot afford to buy gold, they go keep the dollar so that it will be like a safe haven for them. So this is the area where they get for look robustly, so they will able for look how they will able for lower government spending. And then they go able for match with the selling treasury security. And then they will look say the political dimension, they want to change the tax rate. And then area then they will go for look into that dimension of changing the tax rate. The dimension of changing the tax rate, it depends on waiting, then they try for imports. and waiting, then they try for sell. So that the person no go pay big VAT because the VAT no go come because of that person will not import. Import thing when are straightforward, when a taxation where you don't go pay at the port or you don't pay now wherever they take up for bring them, now you don't bring this. But we then look actually about people the individual perception instead of a general perception of something where they will look for the future. Now the reason now one day they look say physical policies, they actually get the expenditure for influence the country economy. Then the monetary central bank now, then they influence the nation in money supply. So if you're not able to get this coordination between them, wherein that one day go able to, no go just they go up, then that one day they can't down. Or when they spend more money outside instead of when go just the lower the spending and look a reasonable way for spend and try for and impact money outside agriculture, I will get a bumper harvest instead of they get subsistence farming. So subsistence farming are where people they just they go cook, I mean they go work on the farm, they get working and they eat. So that's how they get for look into how they treat that it. Looking at how the relationship between the governor and the finance minister, because he don't mention quite a lot. See, that thing they are not able to address them, they are not going to be helpful. The helpfulness of it is based on waiting in don't bring can at table. If they accept them, that's going to help quite a lot. I'm your input for tonight, and thank you very much for giving the platform.
Thank you very much, Yusufin. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're most welcome, sir.
Tony Ture Jones, what's your contribution, sir?
Yeah, Abraham, good evening. Thanks for having me. I want to look at two things where you highlight, where we want to start with. One get for deal with, you mentioned about the human capital and you mentioned about infrastructure. And last week, you get the topic here where we talk about human capital. And when you talk about the human capital, you talk about how you can able to develop people them so will become more productive, wherein some people that way unskilled will become more skilled, wherein a range is not only people that way not go school, but people themselves will go school. Probably you get for upgrade because certain things then they will land on, they become absolute. So you get for abreast with trends. You talk about infrastructure. If we talk about agriculture, those things has to be in place. Infrastructure, talk about good roads, talk about lights, talk about this, you understand? So, and it mentioned about one thing where it say if a country, where they talk about comparative cost advantage, if a country gets 1% above you, will give up the advantage probably in producing goods and services at a lower cost or probably in importing or whatever. Investors will rather prefer for good because the aim of a business people is to maximize profits and minimize loss. And when you look at the range, you look at Guinea and Sierra Leone. We don't go Guinea from when we were small in the 80s. I mean, I get family there and everything. I know about Guinea. When you look at the trend at which Guinea they grow, Guinea they develop. Before in the 80s, we were far above Guinea. That makes some of we can school as alone. Far above in terms of education and everything. But Guinea, the trend at which they're moving to date, you understand? We can't compare them. You see, even because they have the cost effect, they have a comparative cost advantage than we in production, you understand? Because they have certain infrastructures we're lacking in Sierra Leone. For instance, now that make cold storage now close na Sierra Leone, now Guinea then they produce and distribute from Guinea to Sierra Leone. You have a bulk of people, so many times I've mentioned it on this program. I have a lot of business people doing business in Sierra Leone, where majority of them now, they import most of their products na Guinea and use long trailer them for kind inside free talk. Where now a lost revenue. Imagine somebody they carry with 20, 30 containers of basic things that what we need. Fast movable commodity goods. Where we go talk about yam, food stuff, then what we go eat. Tomatoes, rice, this, that, everything. Pass yabas and everything, Maggi, this, that. Where they come through with pots. Because of the increase in taxation, increase in custom duties, these people, mind you, just like I said, their main aim is to maximize profits and minimize loss. If Guinea gets up at a cheaper price, a low custom with less headache, just like our doctors say, we yourself know that, less headache and less, you understand, crisis, bureaucracy no day, boku bottleneck no day. I go rather ship na Guinea, take trailer, then long trailer, then 40 feet, bring a can salon. Mind you, Government don't lost revenue straight off from Wataki. And now, since when they use Balamuya for camp, how effective if you say Balamuya day? Where some of those costs, you understand? People the way they work now, Balamuya, no go the compromise situation. You understand? Because they see even when we send NIA staff in Balamuya, within few months, the body don't big, they're not fat. You know the mass really. How they do business now, give me. So I know exactly how Balamuya or the area they did it. So complete lost revenue. So basically, what the bank governor was saying was in place. You get for look how you get for make your country become more attractive. If you say this is not a new destination of investment where people them for can invest, there are so many things you get for put in place. You get for make sure say the books are in order. You get for make sure that the law and order are all in place. You get for make sure relatively infrastructures are in place. When we talk about infrastructure, we don't talk about street lights. We talk about roads where they lead now the four corners of Sierra Leone. We go reduce the risk of even the business because time economic resource. I can't take 5 and 10 hours for go Kono, or I can't take 10 hours for go Koindu. And for reach Koindu quick and do me business transaction. Let's say we get a mining site in Koindu, or we get an agricultural base in Koindu. You look at time, all those things. You understand? So governments, just like he mentioned, they have to go back to the drawing board. They have to. Because you remember sometimes the people them they say, hey, we forget free ports. Yes, we're not going to say yes now the right system this follow we get free ports. But Guinea has the advantage. And Guinea is doing well. Guinea is not like us. You know what I'm saying? The middleman power is thriving because people are being trained. They have a lot of mining companies. You can't compare the number of mining companies in Guinea. These are not mining companies coming today and go tomorrow. These are sustainable companies who have been there for years, who have been there for decades. Like the team to where always they mention about. And they have more companies than when are big players. Now even helicopter they take, I get in first cousin where now an accountant, a chartered accountant, they work for one of them company. The helicopter they carry them go every morning at their sites. They work. These are companies who have been established for a very long time. When a company sees there is that leverage in wearing less taxes and everything, they feel more relaxed in investing more capital into the country. And the more capital they invest in the country, the more jobs they give out to people. That's the people from the diaspora, we don't land now, we don't land in some of those kids, will go back for go work for some of this company because you get a very good package. Where they pay taxes like when they pay tax in the diaspora. You see, that's why you see some of Ghanaians are going back. Not every Ghanaian is going into politics. Not every Nigerian is going into politics. But because we don't have options. The only best option we have in Sierra Leone is politics because the business landscape is not thriving. It's not moving. You don't have many players. How many multinational companies do we have in Sierra Leone doing business? Because they lost them one archaic. These are all laws them way. And then the enforcement, just like how Usman Soli said, the enforcement, compliance, everything you look into. I mean, they see them. Visible say they can able to manage the crisis that much. Unless we get for be firm. In farm, when I say farm, in policies, farm in aid, that you understand now. So it will be we will see business investors coming into Sierra Leone. Nobody know who can invest where the infrastructure. I mentioned two things: human capital and infrastructure. Of all what you say, if we don't get infrastructure light, how you go invest in Sierra Leone? I have guys that I met where they go Sierra Leone for investing ISP, internet service provider, providing internet for people. They have to go to Guinea. Why do they go to Guinea? Because we don't have power. If you say they go co-locate with Africell or they co-locate with Airtel, now then pull them, you get for pay these companies. And when paying them, don't eat into your revenue. Definitely increase your overheads. So they have to move to Guinea. You can't compare if you go Guinea now, and internet. The internet is far above it, very fast. Before you upload, you let your call. I don't open. This is not them say. Anybody will be Guinea can verify that. Guinea, the landscape at which or the trend at which they're moving. Just like I mentioned about them dollar boys. Guinea get dollar boys too. Now that side of me, I get an issue with them. The dollar boys, they're not the crisis in Sierra Leone. This is just a minute. It's just a minute. And what to make the dollar boys, they're very key in the chain. You therefore no say they're very key in the chain because mind they want for go Guinea. That's all man. How many people they want for go to line a bank? For go to my bank, but good documentation, say that they give you the money, say how they go, and I get for go Guinea by 12 o'clock in the afternoon, for go catch put out at Ferry Junction. Don't know boys make them quick for me, get me money, go get up and move. The problem is the bigger policies, the bigger pictures. When they need for address, when you address those bigger pictures, you can still establish and add value to the post office, make them they deal with foreign currencies, which is true. You can do that. It's very good. So they all move parallel. Outside somebody says, so you have a choice. Outside if you say free for me for I go take money. If I say I want to go to a bank and they do a bulk business of a transaction involving huge sum, I'll say, okay, for security purpose, let me go to the bank or let me go to the post office. But if I want a quick fix while they drive my traffic, I want for exchange, we not get parking at Sierra Leone. How many parking we get now free for park for go do transaction at bank? So the dollar boys in the future, they are very key. We talk about unemployment rates very high. Then they talk about getting these guys off the street, increasing the unemployment because these people had a gain to the unemployment. And these people have been doing this business for so many long time. And then they get their livelihood, take care of their families, and they live a very comfortable life. They are not the issue here. That's not the only issue when we get with them. They are not the issue. Let them create the playing field. It's an open market. Let me make my choice. If I want to go to the dollar boys, you talk about going to bank, post office. Look at the post office. Let's say I want to go take money. Then have to bring this scenario, make them visible. Who's the park now? Gloucester Street. Who's the for park? But it's why they can no longer clamp me. So the dollar boys are very key. Take the dollar boys for one day and see the crisis where we go get. You understand? Dimension say no country no day we don't benefit from the natural resources. No, say no country no day where the policy poor. That's what they want to add. Where the policy poor, we don't benefit from natural resources because we have laws them we decide whether they mind. Now just surface rates of 3% to go give them. What do you think? After you don't tax, then you come on, they pull down on Tankoro. Oxia mine inside with the mine. Then go to Tankoro, let's see. No development, not Tankoro na kono. Go and Nimi Chief Dom. Who's a PC Bonadi. Like you see, the whole not even time for enter place. And these are mining areas. Go to Tombodu and all the areas then. Go Ferengbea, go Losa. You know, because we have bad policies, bad laws, bad things that we books make, not make culture. If those things then they were in place, people use their money then for develop Losa. The roads will be tar, everywhere will be nice, lights, everything. Ferengbea, Bumbuna, all that sudden they could be nice. Not all my one for being like God rich, not all my one for being now waiting. So man go the proud for go be like hometown because you know say everything we lack now we not we they na freedom. It then a village. Some are light, some are one and some outside commode. Some are basic necessities. If you come on at the dance why sick, you get confidence in going to the hospital and take treatments. So they get for go back. So that cost of them the taxes. Now the major thing where they kill the businesses, even the local business owned by indigenous Sierra Leoneans, then they cry every day. Mind you, they get a whole huge overhead. They have to pay staff, and they therefore burn the generator, put power on the buy gas, put on the generator. Wear and tear of the generator. How you go expand the kind of business in Sierra Leone? So now so much business, most of these people they can't expand. They just like our accounting kukolas go on concern. They know what they do. Just hold on for say most don't idle. Now some they do nothing. So they have to. Custom duties is that custom has play a great role. You understand? They tend to satisfy more the IMF conditionalities. Then they lead with so many of these things. Taking subsidies off gas, taking subsidies off this, taking subsidies, na so IMF say, na so World Bank say. Then the ripple effect so they make high cost of living. So that's semiotic. I'm not just posted because so much has been said by Dr. Who's friend and Tolly. And I know say people then the way they listen and get good, I mean, they say go get a good take more than what I don't say. That's my main take here, bro.
Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I just want to remind yesterday we get a call we want to send a message to the government of Sierra Leone. We Naya on Sierra Network family. We want to make the government know how we feel going back home to Kallon. So we ask people, MC, if you want to send a message, you get for make a 1 minute video. You know, they do a portrait, not too straight, but they slide them in a landscape where they make a 1 minute video and give you message. Then you send them to we. Through any of the numbers that we don't announce, now you send them to WhatsApp. We go receive them and we acknowledge. Friday at the cutoff dates. And after that on Sunday, we will get with first video up. Yes, caller, you're live on here. You name and who call from, please.
Yes, this one, Momo, call from Fargo.
Yes, sir. You get 3 minutes. Waiting your contribution.
Yeah, first, I greet everybody for today. And as you advise, better for let we all pay attention and then we'll go to the point as you want for let be. Mimi, what I see from the governor today, because he don't take a little while, he not talk with all the rumors, all the things that they go on. Say he want left and this. I think today he can't break in silence. It's like he can't clear himself, say, let people not blame him more if the economy they go bad. Because I see he can document them where they quote from all that. So that they show a clear indication, say, in they give a lot of advice where they need to listen to them. So as they not listen to them, so I think now it's best for him can clear himself to the people of Sierra Leone, so not to get the problem. He say because the only way you can do as much now for take money at the bank and auction them for a quick fix or not a permanent solution now in your own strength. You know, we able to tell government waiting for buy, waiting for sell, but you go advise them. If you're not listening, you not get much for do. So he can talk on that and advise for cut taxes, which we all know say high tax can cause problem in any country because they make people skeptical for going invest. Just like I don't make the example say country A and country B, that's clear. That's my clear indication. Say if you they do too much on tax, next year neighbor to do less, or what amount go Google sell less day. And he talk about these minerals. This how we are not good with minerals. We say minerals are going to make a country rich, as he put them. That's why I disagree with them because as you don't make example with country will get oil, the Arab country them. All what they rely on not the oil products. Now it make them country all rich and people in they live they little bit happier than we. So and people when they talk about policies, say them minerals just not policies. I don't understand why they blame the policy, not the policy or not the people who they thief the money. So not two things I want to understand because there's policies. Where that money come for can invest, now the policy they way in they go with. And in they pay the government, it agree in to the government. So now the government gets responsibility now say for share that money there to the council say now this money that they get from the mineral also for spend and let the people in Siam. So I don't know who said the policy gets bad name in this because that investor don't come, they pay tax, they pay all what for pay to the government. So now the government responsibility now for utilize the what they get from the minerals. So that money not get anything for do with policy. It did everything for do with honesty and sincerity. You know. So and he talk about the law enforcement. As I say, he don't try for do things and for let he able to try for bring the economy into a stand. Where if they call the police, they work with the police, and the police not respond, or if the police respond, the case going to court, judiciary they try and do. So there is a lot of things that way the government need for work with them. I think now make it can't clear himself. Say if the government not work with them, it will be a problem. So the only way is because if you tell the police say, okay, I will go arrest, but if I arrest, I get the person at court, what will happen? Then they left them. So a lot of blame say the government need for stand up for make the economy so. And the old thing was see is, as I say, the governor come lady for can clear and say he not responsible too much about this economy. So it's up to the finance minister and the government for take actions. So now we won't take this.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, caller, you're live on here. Your name and where you call from?
Hey, this is not Mike. I call from Philadelphia.
Yes, Mike, waiting you respond to waiting the governor say.
I want to thank the governor for if we come out and actually tell we some things that were not true and some things that were not so true. Like we say, we put the situation of country A and country B and try to analyze that country the way they talk about. So now when they go borrow money, they know they put the money in the right way. And then they affect the country B way they talk about. We're not alone. You know? When they go borrow money, instead of doing something we will benefit the country, they know they do it. You know, they just they play around till the money disappear. You know? We don't talk about the agricultural sector now. Boku we don't talk about the agricultural sector now. We make no money, just lip service. Then just they put lip service into the situation. But they're not going to realize what they talk about right now till 2021. Where that country the situation will get worse past what it is so right now. Now that's when they say go realize they might wouldn't be talk about this agriculture. They be serious, you know, because they're not serious, but they just they talk now lip service no more than they put, you know. Boku country then they wouldn't they benefit from the minerals then, from the natural resources. Okay, Boku country then they wouldn't benefit from them. But Salon, you know, the reason why we will not benefit, you know, now the people, I say this all the time, the people who we put in charge, they don't get the interest of we country, you know. They don't care about we young people there. They don't self no more than care, but they don't care about the country moving forward, let the country better. Because when the country better now, they self don't better. Like I always say, you know, go point one pan the way go say this not me hero, this. None pan, you know, because they know they put the country forward. You know, the bank governor, he exposed a lot. You know, he exposed Boku to what they go on at that country day. You know, and we need to look at that very seriously. Then people they put in charge. Now then they sell with country, you know. They sell with country. They get mining business, mining company. And you know, they will get track of what they do, who say the money they go, and then they get backward deal the way when they're not good for the country. You know, and Parliament no they do nothing but then they, you know what you make a vex more? Because Radisson Blue get more power past the bank governor. Radisson Blue they win case na court. You want salute, man. We need help, I swear. We need help. You know, police, bank governor, they complain about police. You want to your contribution?
Thank you very much.
All right, man.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah. Yes, caller, you're live on here. Your name and who call from, please?
Yeah, this is Omar from Minneapolis.
Yes, Omar, you get 3 minutes, sir.
I know, don't give me Bokuchi for that 2 in 3 minutes, but that's not, okay. I will try for minimizing time, yeah. Now, one other side, we don't say me not to politician or other stuff, but I don't say the bank governor be under that trade balance stuff. What I say, people are not money. You know, anything they say, like, they get. Of course, somebody will know they say their assets that will count at the central bank. And based on what they don't register at the central bank, now that way they get the tax. I don't know if I get that right or no.
Which one?
You know, the mineral stuff, like that people are going to do their mining stuff there. Whatever they declare, say that they don't make out of the stuff, what they can run a bank. Because I mean, they talk about how money they take off from the country to some other place. I get that correct.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Now, you say say there's a problem with that kind of condition. If you give somebody where they make managing himself, there's a problem.
Regulating himself, exactly.
Of course, regulating himself, there's a problem there. Falsification of accuracy, it is plenty. You understand? But also I can confuse a little bit. The bank governors say they get their laws, they run aside agreement stuff, and then they take down other stuff, they can't run at the parliament. I hear about tabling stuff. For what me understand, I don't know, tabling of stuff means it dead right away or no?
No, waiting in say now beside agreement, okay. But you don't go to a parliament, it don't turn to law. Now it make me say if you don't turn to law, not to side agreement again because it's law already in the country.
Exactly, but I hear about tabling the law again too. We side and the income or tabling the law.
No, now the same thing if they talk about where you talk about the table in a parliament, where now it don't turn to law.
Got that. Okay. Now I think it's clear. Another clarity, they maybe they try forget that. You understand? Now the other stuff, I know say that somebody mentioned, he mentioned say natural resources. You get beaucoup countries where they don't benefit from that stuff. But right now they're in dilemma as to whether to rely on their natural resources they for be the economic base. You understand? Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, all those places that they face that right now. Because this tension don't begin come about the hydrocarbons when the fuel they use. You understand? They don't know say everybody they try for renewable energy stuff now. They're not get for rely on their natural resources there. If you say you get problem, now they don't know say the economy get problem in the long run. What you know they try for do? Then they diversify. You never just rely no more on natural resources. You understand? And then the mismanagement in that place that then we country and happens. Because society natural resources that they just go damage the place there, not do anything, no roads, no nothing. Now if you go there, the place so devastated, you don't even know who say you go. You know? That's one problem now. I enjoy when you talk about small enclaves. You know? In my own interpretation, that's not corruption, that one. They don't call it corrupt people and that, but it's a small enclave. I don't know if he said they catch that part.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. My own interpretation is not corruption. That in the end, they damage that country to the last. You go see one person will come for implementing way will really benefit the population at the place. Somebody else then at the drawback. You see? For them kickbacks them and all that in there. That's the problem in that country. If we all want to let that country they develop upon them at the same page, you know. Another topic what we don't put on to you, I challenge everybody when I Sierra Leone say. Then taxes. Let them reduce their taxes, let them see what they're happy. Nobody know for talk, let them just reduce them no more. I challenge you, I challenge every Sierra Leone, the government where they under, I challenge themselves. All they need for do just reduce the taxes, let's see what they're happy. Not to what I say last week. I challenge everyone. You don't need for do anything. Just lower than normal. Let it be half a percentage lower than other places. Let's see what they're happy. You understand? Now that's a one for let people know. You understand? Now we talk about IMF. I don't say this. We don't talk about this plenty. IMF not to go any side. He left in profit putting margin out. It's not possible. Any side where they go, then they regulate stuff them for let them get their money. Whether a bad policy or not, wait till you this start for the country, you not find out. They don't want to know that. As long as they get the money back, that they don't done with our day. You understand? If you talk about country A, country B, or some production A, country company and then production B. Sierra Leone, we're not able to do nothing at that place. They send go to other places because they say people are discouraged for make farms and other stuff. If they make farms themselves now for the feed their family, they no more. Outside the road they do. Outside water they. Outside the storage places that they follow. We even satisfy with you people inside the country. They let alone for just export them to other countries. You don't get the facilities there. You don't get the amenities that they follow. We even maintain inside the country first. Let alone for keep her out. You know, so that's a problem, Dandy. Law enforcement stuff, that's another problem, Dandy. You take other people, they come to the country, they pass the policy way, law, in a policy way, they for maintain law and order at the place. It don't make sense. I don't see nothing for that. Then they talk about foreign exchanges. You don't understand? That foreign exchange, even if they drive their people on that street and I'll tell you, it's not going to do anything. The reason for that, I'll tell you. People in the diaspora, I think say majority of we guilty of that too. You don't need for going to that street. All you need for do call that man, they like to make you now also the exchange. I don't know if people know that. Of course, I don't know if people know that.
Of course, yes.
Of course. Just say that you owe some get the money number, call them. If they come with the Leone for you, you get the dollar. Now on a business done, so we ready again, you call them back and I don't know. Me in a possible are straightforward by everything. I don't see how they happy. So tell me, say, don't take part in and two. So now lost and get for that country, they will be to say every Sierra Leonean for a buy. But if I don't go again, I go to the bank. In fact, I get an example, okay? Last year, I go 3 times to Sierra Leone, okay? The first year I go, I get some problem the way people to say I decide to come back quick. I go to the airline. You know what they do me? Then quadruple me fare. For what I say I come quick. In fact, the dollar amount we call for, if I go change them to the other people, I will get less, more money, you understand, than which then charge me. You understand? Tell me it's $1 for pay. But when he ready, I tell them, okay, now Leone asked me for pay. And the pay and the Leone, so no, that not suffice. I need to go bring dollar for him. So there's a problem right there. So, but put things to go wrong in that country, the way people need for pay attention, you understand? We need for come to the same page for how we able to solve their problem there. So now we won't take that tonight, yeah?
Thank you very much, Omar. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yes, caller. You're live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Oh, this is Francis. I call from live.
You have 3 minutes, Francis.
Yeah, but me, I listen what the governor say. Like, I just buttress or I just support the last caller, which he talks about or reduce tax. Simple, them people them bank governance run that place, they ready economics. It's an economics them. The Minister of Trade, the Minister of Finance and Economics them. They know the parameters for measure at least for liquidity and economy. They know that. The one key parameter and tax. If the tax rate too high in a country, my problem the money not circulate. They know this when I read on a paper. Why am I not going to implement a practical? Obra. The other thing for us, they talk about the police, about the security. I remember one time, one professor be absent Friday night. I say, yes, sir. I say, what's in the parameters for the Western world they make for invest, companies in a developing country, for example, in Sierra Leone? What in the man tell me first? They say the first thing first is the justice, the judiciary. They say if your country not good at the judiciary, no big investment really go to another place. They say anyone want to go to another place and they just gamble. Now make the interest where they can go to, they can make high rates for the government. Or they can back in a lesser rate for the government. When the government will get no choice. It's one thing, if you want to check out to Michael Bloomberg, this millionaire would get a website, but when you check an investment for a developing country for good. They say if the judiciary no good, they're not good. The law enforcement, the human rights, they're not good. That's wow. It's a yes. It's another thing. It's as long as the judiciary, the investment won't go there. If you get a problem, if you go to court, then go able to find ways solution for solve the problem. Is it as long as they go to the day, then they will get that clean judicial day. My brother, it go very difficult for let's see so my investment to go there. They said one way to go there, then they go there, but only with an interest rate, one of their own priority. We say they still more to the government, and the government ain't to accept. They say you can find out say, now they always the country, the government in Africa, they go into bad contracts. Because of the rule of law, the enforcement rule there, and then continent day. That's okay. Now I get up from that. Like me, if I be president of police, and they take loan, all the police they're holding us around, they pay them off. I'm telling you. People they blame most of them come over the army. They go about the army. But because of any of this, the people they don't, you see, the implement, they say the corruption in Africa, it starts for graduate from down. Now they graduate to the minister. Now the corruption starts from Africa. The corruption, it starts from up. Now they can know. For Africa, the corruption, they graduate from down. Now they graduate. Now they go up. It's very difficult. Offense corruption as in a very difficult. If you don't get a good laws, if you don't get a president who like in country, if you don't get a president who they go say, me I don't care for money, I don't care for rich, I care for make the country. Like out to Mosankana. My friend, if we don't get it in a day, I'm telling you, it will be a very great problem for us, like a disaster in Africa, especially Sierra Leone. Especially Sierra Leone. Reduce the tax rate in our Turkey. Make the economy liquidate. With farm, then they begin to introduce a small again, say reaching the maximum peak. But as they come, it inflicts the taxation. As they come, it inflicts salary. Hey, well, it's a problem for us, my brother. It's a problem. Okay, I don't know more.
Thank you very much, Francis. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, good evening, Tripoli. I name Abdullah. I call from Paris.
Yes, Abdullah. 3 minutes, sir.
Yes, sir. Today I'm really happy again for this program, we don't begin the area from the horse's mouth, This is a real good advice. At least if you listen to the program, you will get a lot of idea. You didn't know who side really with government, the lack of small thing, the lack of so many things what they really need for take care of. I really accept to everything what he say, really, because I listen to the speech very well. I pay me attention. Now only about the resources business, not they only about that now other topic for another day, But really, what I want to say, so many of these companies they would in us alone because of with bad law. Now I don't understand what he make this company they really pay attention even for take care of the people them. Now the community the way they work, we get bad laws, and these people that don't sign this law, you not get for change the economic way if you to say you get some of the company there where they will take money howsoever what they want out of the country, where the government not even know about, because this is not something again they don't even pass into law. There are so many companies where they didn't have rights now, where they work at least. If we talk about the foreign changes, now the people that they export the money, not to them, there's small business there. Now, true say yes, that they affect the company, that they affect the economy. But if we look again inside the neighboring country, that they all did one, because this is not street business. So many people that they do one really. Now, true say it affects. Yes, I agree to that. But what you get for understand say, now the bad law the way we get in our parliament. And if they're not trying for at least look into these laws, the economy no they go no sign. Go there, you cut taxes now people there, high rates of tax. If everybody, 90% of Sierra Leone are big business people there, now outside the cow they container there. So how you expect the country for grow? You see, so we get so many issues there. They really, if they want let the economy grow, let them listen to this my advice. Although it says so many things, at least there are some questions we'll get for question about, but at least it make a good point. And this is not a good point where we really need for understand, say, yes, this thing affect the economy of the country. And if this government or any government not can solve that problem, the economy not they ever grow as alone. It not they ever grow. The need for look into them thing there, at least may they pass law. The people that they sell now then street, at least now a good thing say yes, they post them now. I'm really happy they post them now, they change money. At least a good. But the question is, are they going to really monitor those posts? Because we know everything as alone a corruption. Where you get connection no more, no, you do all things as alone. So even the people that go do business in the country when are foreign investors then, they don't know say yes the country corrupt. So when they want take the country money, now we need that they're the fool. Till they don't even pass law at parliament say yes, some company then because we get some big company in the salon where even the government don't know how they operate in the country because of bad law. And this is the affect with system. They really, if they want to fix the system up, now or never, the system no they ever fix. Because now the voice that they go out. That's not my own contribution, sir, for this night.
Thank you very much, Abdullah. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and where you call from, please.
My name is Kuruma. I call from the United States.
Yes, Kuruma, you get 3 minutes. You there out, eh?
Yes.
Okay, let's make it quick.
Yeah, I thank the bank governor. Well, he left to some of we did he try for Lambas, the man say, nothing, blah, blah, blah. I'm a professor. He got his qualification. But he just can't say the government not belong to listen to him. And finally, we gladly can break the silence. Triple, I will tell you for sure, the mistake what this government do, the country is so bad that, it's telling that this will start any year. It will start a trade, they can do nothing. This free education belongs bad for the country. If I before start from my stages, maybe with primary school, maybe that before give them less responsibility. But when you watch, there's so much money that it's like when they pour so much cash in that particular area there. And, when they come again, because of the bad deals in the mining sector, then try to terminate the mining in the country. So that it's like that side of income not be the flow. So at the end of the day, that is high taxation and can't have fun. But really, all the unions really they don't grumble, but these are high taxation. Like the dollar side again, I give somebody, one of the contributors, and they say, them dollar boys, we know they against the idea for me to hang the street and change the dollar. But wait till me totally they against the mainly that the commercial banks, that you don't go get dollar, they can't sell them. But that made me totally they against. If anti-corruption can keep into that, then try for cost that changes. I think that will help well. And the other thing, where we try to say, Kallon not to jungle. We get laws there. If only, the judiciary could work hard, they enforce the laws then, I think that country could really be a better place. Let me just explain something to you about this dollar business. One thing I go Salon, mistakenly, I began to go with $1993. The hands of I can't go to that place. You will be surprised. So many brother later me say,
yes, value, then they pay you less for them.
But even more than 10.5, I end up for last. I tell them there to start with, it's not like I broke that much. I didn't get $1 account. It's just that that this is a plan for spend. And above all, I go back to America, not to deport me. So with me, actually, I hope the government go listen to the bank governor. Let them try, work on them taxes there. Just like quickly, other contributors on the only say, I began to friend back, the Coca-Cola. But I feel if they get something for do with that boss going to be place. Because we try for Assam, I see them say this government not impose so much tax, but I make them close a Coca-Cola. Now they say no. Is it from day one when they go to that place? I think they get Nigeria when have been boss. But the guy, the chief, anything, it's like him they overcharge the company. So at the end of the day, Coca-Cola the depot, look into and say, if I don't know the same, the production so look high in a salon. So I'm not the depot, then decide to close Coca-Cola at salon. They say, well, if they're going to produce Guinea, the brand kind of salon, I think I go save them a lot of money. But that's my friend they tell me. So I don't have your contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kuroma. Thank you. Yes, caller ID live on air. Your name and the call from, please.
Yeah,
Good yes, morning. I'm Alpha. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the program. Me normally I used to say the program where we want to do, especially where we want to ask the government, we want to ask them for review the issue of the tax. I think say that would be the new direction. And how far the new direction government is concerned, now listening government. So if we not do that genuinely, not by political influence or whatsoever, I think say His Excellency the President at the end of the day go listen to una. Because I can normally say 60 to 70% of una really get genuine idea for this country. But the balance 30% in fact then they create problem for winner this country.
Sorry. Quick before you continue. Because when you say genuinely, you then when I don't know if you be the listen when the idea just come right on the program.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you be the listen say the idea for do waiting we say they do so now right on the program now we get them. Now say make we do them. So this way they say genuinely without political affiliation and all that thing then they I know get that one day, right?
Yeah, okay, let me clear that. Yeah. I can listen, sometimes not to me first call. I can listen in the various contributions there. Starting from, I'm not going for names. The first caller, the third caller, the fourth caller, fifth caller, onto me. Probably not be there. But the second caller get really problem. But the second caller, I want just tell the second caller, waiting with up well for the past 10, 15 years. You know, go expect the leaders of government just 2 years for conflicts and just a day. The second caller for realign who that one day. And I will find they arrange anything about this country. I want to let left some Monday BM. Yeah, because the second caller, anytime who they call, who they talk, if you will say this is not about politics, it can bring in politics direct. So now make I say if when I want one genuinely, you know, government they listen. This is not listening government to get. And 70% of una wanna really get genuine, ideal, and good things for this country. It only just left to we who in the country. But the 30% of most of them, them and diaspora, and then they create problem for we in this country. And we all know the issue of mayor at this country, things were built up for donkey years. So you're not going to expect the new direction government for just can't set down 2 years. And also, I want the other contributors then for no say, the bank governor did part of the system. I don't think say if any policy the only things the way one let them follow up, they would deny them. I don't think so because it's already the part of the system. And it's a fact, yeah. And policies then the way they make, some policies they don't go to the parliament, go through the parliament, and anything so they don't go through parliament. Now alone in this country, it just left to the law enforcer for enforce the law in this country. But then in the country again, where somebody want to enforce the law, that not the time where you see, you know, my brother, the force states, the civil societies, where they think say that will only be the time for talk for their own political party. And we all know say we belong to we're not political animals then. But anything so far where they come for the interest of the country, Lord put out straightforward, Lord will not balance them, Lord will not take with at the end of the day, you belong to a political party. Now you right, now you might right. Yeah. But my brother, I did talk normally. And past we all accept the fact. Say yesterday, now the APC under by Kuruma, things run smoothly. This now the under of the President Bill, now SLPP under President Bill, things for Rome normally. And this country way better. Now we all get up. But we left now this country where the 7.9 garage. That is something that we miss SF weakness the proceedings. Because I've been working on a commission of inquiry. I've been working there for past 1 year. You know, I know where to go on. My brother, some amount of some quantum of money then they we how that 7.9 garage from Kono. If just my memory no go able call now because that issue that one they under other stage where at the end of the day for car as a white paper. You would think say, yeah, of course. And the kind of way they do the sharing in terms of percentage, you go think say no, the former administration, they really did well in this country. They did bad rather in terms of corruption. You know, because now that money they share on the table. If I were even they promise the people in that village, they don't know able to do anything towards that. They just share the money. Because the PS at that time were then at the mayors, the woman. We appear to we honestly a collapse before the Nigeria Judge Wilbur a collapse. It collapsed up to 10 minutes before ever I talk. And he talk, I say, my Lord, I don't want to confess, but I'm going to confess. We know what he do matter. So, but you know, go expect this government now for can fix up 2 years, donkey years, waiting people that don't damage in this country. This government for just can't set out for 2 years. Come on, Lord, be conscious. So we arguments and things, the contributions, then what would they give? Right. But not talking 70% of una get a very good idea for this country. If una do genuinely without una connect some people and we at the end of the day, they want to talk and say, now they right, a government for doing power. Yes. it will be difficult, but very good things. And I hope say if we're a beginner and it will come on and fine one. So if you come on fine one, so we all going to forget the praise because this country way better now we all. Way bad now we all. Thank you so much for the platform.
All right, thank you very much, Amar Alpha. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, you're live on here. Your name and who side the call from, please.
Hey, Triple A, thank you very much. Now, Umar from Los Angeles.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say about the corona. I don't know if you don't check or maybe you don't talk about that one or your report. That testing fee, that line they don't clear because I just don't do one for me, father-in-law.
Yes, you don't clear. You don't clear.
Yeah,
you
don't
pay.
clear.
Yeah, I tried it.
Now you don't pay. You don't pay. You don't get a receipt, everything because they left Thursday. And the other two of me want to talk about this bank governor. I did give some praise, then I did give some false. The false, now we they talk say no country, no day. We develop by natural resources. Not like Saudi Arabia, UAE, Berlin. What did I get? Samsung and oil. So dust and oil. Now oil no more than get. So look with that. The other thing we talk about, the full law that with the pass. Now the thing this one we talk, people. If you remember during the election last year, we kind of they talk about how many laws that we pass in the last minute. Now some of all them here. Then some of them laws here we pass. Now laws that will not favor the nation, but because then people are always pass them lawyer, pandem mining things that we don't get something there. The governor now, because any law we pass in parliament, is surpassed what they don't the governor they say. You know, we will pass them. So my question is, why we table a complaint back in parliament for letting them see how they will redo them laws here back for let this country entangle itself. We side the people that will be don't tangle this country for all the laws here. Then the other thing with this present government, then they boast. Then they boast say, for more than come, they need the trust money. And, you know they read them? Anything what they talk, this not to trust, so now out of your own pocket. You know they say in the court boast for that. So what did that say? Who said in the pull up money this? I don't know big day, we will not get a better business day. So who said if you said in the pull up money day? Upon tax. People will say what's done at the ship. One that ship, I pay 5,500. Now yeah, what is now free turn? Now $6,000 for clear container. Junks, I mean for call them junks there. Things don't for go give it out to business. What's kind of nonsense? This is not losses. I'm not going to do this. The tax to Boku. Then therefore come down. Then therefore cut down on the taxes. Make them encourage people with the ship because Guinea, now they don't because I don't know about Nigeria, but all man, it looks like saying like Guinea, now they don't take over. We, but then they get all the goods them because the Flaman them and the Madingo the way they do business, they all are between Salonoma and Guinea, and Guinea don't they take everything, you know. So if they come back, if money don't they now, they don't get the money that they look for. Make them cut them taxes they are done. The taxes they're just too high, you know. And also when they talk about them, where they change their money them. You know, like what you and one color they talk just now. Necessarily they do it before. But it reached to a point, now like, I send money from there, the money in a bank, na free tongue. Why rich now they use? And why she rich now free they take on the money and put in a bank. In fact, me, I'd rather say for the use, for the take money at the ATM, so that nobody know for the follow me. Now, let's talk about the police. Not to every police dangerous like Salon. Not to every police that corrupt police that's Salon. Trust me, even the politician that people, if you get sober-minded laws then, we Canada country, you go see, very good scenario. We can see them now, no sometimes they will cost them, but really, some of them are especially in the parliamentarian, afraid of the place. Because if you talk anything against the corruption we participate, then they don't give the paper to that part and say they are remove this. We will face we send an forget it. They are lucky they are pull and come out. But the thing that but then get them because look that policeman will be holding guide and that during that checkpoint. Now, genuine policeman, let me give you a quick story. 2014, I go to Freetown. When you go by from Benda Beach Road and another, also that gas station there. I mean, Motokago break around it, but the Bobo don't fix and down. Then police don't give boots. And the guy can't pack boots for me. Now I take a motorcycle, they run. Now them point me and I go meet and I say, man, I did do so. I say, can't like this small thing. That body, myself run after her, up and down that long the road day with motorcycle. I see tell me, say, pa, he said, there, keep your money. He said, go to bank. Just go pay in a bank. When they give you receipt, they can't pull the boot. I do all kinds of things, bribe. I talk all kinds of bribe. I go to one year, close to the amount where it cost for go pay in a bank. Now he tell me, say, no, sir. He say, no, sir. He say, go pay in a bank, wait out the receipt at the pull the boot. So after that, I shake the boy hand. Now go no, I want to take his phone number. Then I genuine human being, small young boy. Even if I can get up over 100,000 euros today, because the boot's not their computer. Because when she go put that boot there, retire, it computerized at the bank. They don't know. He get the key. But he tell me, say, no, sir. He said, go pay in a bank and they can't pull the boot. So long, the police they really get good one them. But the bad one them, they just surpass. So long bunch them all. Bro, I tell you, good one them, they got me that body 2014. And this one will happen during this checkpoint. Some of them they were good. But in fact, the good one themselves, the one that not good that they terrorize them. They say, Chika for halaki, now halaki will let me up. What do you not take? So now that no more, but now that me don't take no more today. Thank you very much. Now not hold up too much.
Thank you very much, Omar. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller ID live on here. You name and inside the call from, please.
So it's simply.
Yeah, you get 3 minutes. You get 3 minutes. Carry on.
Okay. Anyway, I listened to the bank governor today. I'll be really happy with him today. He been very, very honest. Now discussion and all we know they discuss now. One thing where Sipa in talk, you will say corruption the inside from the government because he was so bold today and so proud of him today. Even really, he take a risk for every losing job, but today he was a very patriotic citizen. He even talk for say politicians and they say they want for say, and it is true. Like I remember Abu Bino they talk about this money at the bank. The man they do in work, but they frustrate them because even them when they the auction to the commercial bank because of corruption, and they take the money, they sell them back, and it look like say the executive know about it. The executive they support them because just like say now, I get me picking I also if they do bad, I put it where they comply, they see the picking do bad, which means for say I compromise with that. So about the dollar back where he talks say dollar in depreciation, bad out all the time. I understand what they talk about that. Because I remember even China and America, they can always get this problem here. China can try to devalue their money so that people that go do business the way business go come. Not so because of the money we devalue no more now. In case all the other things they work, if we say, job then the people then skill, then they work, then they go to income. Because even for Ghana, for example, the cost of living in Ghana, if you see an expensive bus past Sierra Leone, but the point is, it's not how much something costs, it's the purchasing power. But Sierra Leone, how many people go afford for buy within and for purchase? Example, like the gas, even Guinea and Liberia, expensive past Sierra Leone. But the problem is, our earning power, like Kotuna, see, there's no job, the earning power is zero. Like my market this food party will say, if they sell cow penny, if you not get that penny there, you can't accept that. So many feel say the president is really disappointed, so say, war on discipline, war on corruption. The corruption they indirectly like this in Wataki when they talk about all man Wataki the corruption. It never changed. They always kind of na TV and they lie say taxes are down, but taxes are not down. Myself have been travel 2018 I come Guinea. I count one businesswoman at Sierra Leone. We been there at Juba Hill. Now Guinea they go even go take in plane for go to China. They come out China, I deposit all in goods they mean and travel. They tell me say na market can buy. That's why you not use salary. See, my sister, it's too expensive. The plane ticket is expensive. How many times will they call them people there about this plane ticket here? So they're still a bit expensive. Me say that Guinean are married to just like going to who be small, even in the Congo Guinea for run for campaign money in Sierra Leone. It's really bad that we all the time with them because time don't go. So I just make a let you call because the line is too long. Many times I call people like you on the line. But to me, I feel the bank governor, he was very honest. And as some of them always highlight that the diaspora and then they for go do business. Just like what man said, 98% of the diaspora, they want to go invest and for help. It's not about politics. Yes, you have 2% that are politicians that are loud, but it's their right to all over the world. You must get some people that win politics, they get interest funds. So just like Salon back now, 1% something are politicians, the remaining are business people. So we come to really get issue. I'm really proud of the governor today. The problem is the executive and the legislative. I'm not even blame the police then either. I think most times I can sorry for them. They are just caught in the middle. All man they blast them. But the point is they are powerless. The executive, we don't hold them account. We don't hold the legislative account. All look this man this man we can cancel the mine this minister with fire. Something for corruption because the boy they try to be honest. You know, so they don't fire because him they against wouldn't they give the government only 3%. They don't end up for fire and sometimes because they know they get kicked back. They say he's a storming block, so they don't fire. But in that governor talk say people don't benefit from minerals. He is right in the sense that how long would only per minerals compared to the risk where you could take per mineral and when agriculture a more stable than mineral. Well, we not get finally that Kallon they visit. Kallon didn't benefit nothing about from those diamonds. So I think that even I think that comparatively, not mean I say there's no, but they try to say when you compare to the benefit apart from the Arab world because they not get democracy, they're not dictatorship, so you don't get for thief. When you thief, then cut your hand. So I make they before. But I don't think any other country in Africa don't ever get benefit from it. Even Nigeria, we then get petrol, then get oil, then still they struggle, they still get blackouts. So I think that is what he was trying to say. In Africa, actually, mineral no benefit in Africa. Thank you so much for giving me over time.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes.
Caller, thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, caller, we want to squeeze you in quick because the phone line be don't close. Your name and side the call from, please.
Mina Paolo man, I call from Boston.
Yes, Paolo man, 3 minutes, sir.
Yes, Triple I did do. Sorry, where the line be don't close. Now we just try for join the program. I just want to ask you one question. Do you know all the bank governor where they don't appoint in that country? Which one are the best bank governor?
I can't tell, but the one that we me do people and they say, I think it was Bangura. And then they say,
okay, you know the reason why they say na Bangura? Because I just know more. Sorry, I want no more for light on Monday. When they talk about this guy, when Dr. Kelfala and Kallon, when they praise him because he come out today, begin to talk about the system waiting to go on at the country. You know why? Because Bangura ain't get foundation at the bank. He work from the bank from junior to be as governor of the bank. This man when I the governor. This man no one day work na any economical institution. This man in PhD way again a classroom PhD man. If they allow for like talk and I will be one of the best person in Sierra Leone than implementing this stuff there. First of all, to me the man no get integrity. Because if you get integrity, all the idea we give so now a very, very, very good idea. It looks like to me say the executive they not they listen to her. What he supposed to do instead of he sit down at that position, they not they doing job. If he resign. Now that need the cause you get integrity because when they work in a place, your idea for fly. If your idea not fly, would it make you then at the job still? If you really like the country. No. All them see are waiting they happy. You want to tell me say, you know go able go talk to the president. Say now so this country they go. Look what's in they go, low implement this here any other thing. If you see say they know they follow to what they say, which you really know say a genuine, if you resign. But it will be people in the camp, some caller in the camp praise this guy, like say now any other thing what he did. What he do? Which I don't understand. All them point thing in the way points so I make now a part of the government, not an outsider. Like we say when they talk outside, we know because we know they inside the government. But this man they inside the government. They know what thing they go inside the government. So the only thing what he for do, advise the executive. We don't advise the executive. If they don't agree, you see say then they go the bad way where the country they go bad to worse. Resign. That means say you don't get your integrity. People then go take her as a role model You understand? But I know one day sit down in a Sierra Leone, you go sit down, you then a job, you know, say what thing they do a bad. But because you sit down there, you secure, you get money and every other thing, don't the masses they suffer. So to me, it not to anything. Because first of all, it not even fit for being a bank governor. Because what you do, it not get the basic of anything regarding economy. It just get a degree. Now classroom is that man they been teach. You said no say triple. If you know that man in biography now, if been then a Colorado, what do you do? Now teach him in the teach. If then a Miami, now teach him in the teach. They then can take out and go put another place. They get the ideas and any other thing there. But when they know they implement, when they know they list what he do, what he did it for? You tell me they take tomorrow or any other thing. Next year, what you get for do now? Because one thing, this government will get it right now. This president getting certain groups there. If you go against them, then they relieve an position. So now not saying go create them because I'm being done cancel. If we can do that thing, they for talk with the no list, come out. Like we don't come out so today, don't talk all them kind of a kind thing. They say because the government don't they listen to me, I they resign. After I get an American passport. You understand? So that time they go make people in Sierra Leone know say yes, we get people away honest. So when people in the camp praise and they not worth it. You understand? At that point they no more say la clarify and the pool.
Okay, thank you very much, Paolo man. Thank you. Like how we can always say, Naya, every person is true to his or own opinion, and everybody gets right for gay own opinion. Nobody no gets monopoly over an opinion. So everybody will talk, get right for talk, and everybody you talk based on the information where you get. You understand? So make we just try for a that one day I make we all understand. I want to begin on Usai Paulo man stop. Let me begin there. Yeah. Yes, the bank governor not one day come out the way we come out so. One day come out. This is not the first time we did talk about the bank governor Naya. Not to the first 10 days. Maybe sometimes the bank governor get stages the way it be done set. So now based on that stage then now they work so now. Say behind closed doors, he don't do all what he get for do. But we still blame him. What if now we last program we do Naya be what if Naya be say no it's in the next day then they call me na radio. We say I go there, I they go talk. Maybe now based on that, now you come today, can ready for talk. Because the person we go through today, the interview, is different from the person the last time. The last time, what he will be able to pick from what he say. He say, in the auction, $5 million. From that time to now, $10 million, they no auction as alone. But at that time, that $5 million, he said, waiting. He said they don't talk to the commercial bank. They don't beg the commercial bank for what he made and sell to the small business people. The Bank of Sierra Leone, the central bank, get for beg. Get for talk to them other banks than they. Waiting do. When you look within, with waiting a exposed today, waiting make you feel say, it talk that. So from that part today to Usa would reach now. This is the same person, remember, we be don't say, you know what in? I go hand over this position. And sometimes no one go down like that. But me, if me go advise you, papi, this kind of way we don't begin talk so. You daze them in number another office day. Unless if they go caution you, make you not talk again. And the next way you cannot do, you better go higher. You better go up. If you fall, then we know say, na crocodile tears. You say mixed by the kuku jumuku. Because how you don't begin come out so, like say you tire with the system. You want things to go right. But remember, it pleases somebody for appoint you. So if you not pleased by the job, what do you think say you for do? Not to go tell the person back where he please where appoint you, for go tell and say you not pleased by the job. Not to do that. Now I think say na for do that too. If not, he go please that person where he be pleased for appoint you. He go please him for appoint another person. So this one we don't come on and also don't tell we. Because by which you talk, you not even tell we if you don't contact the person we please, we put you in that position. And that person they please in the can come on. So by the time, and if it pleases the person for appoint another person, we not share a network. You know what thing will be the headline? Bank governor Kelfala Kallon fired. That ain't gonna be the headline. But if you not gladdy, you go meet and one team. You tell and say, that's why I don't suggest, things are not going the right way. And I think say it's not gonna work like that. Before that, Papa, look me later. That 10 day we go say, Bank Governor Kelfala Kallon resign. So the ball then you are now. Then are you court. You choose this one. You either resign or you get fired. Now so the game they play. But you don't come out now, we gladdy. Yeah, that's something. So me a gladdy. Me a gladdy for what you talk. Because this is something that we've been saying here over and over. So if in there within the system, if you there within the system, it's saying so we don't tell them say, "Paddy man, una lower than tax ya," because we not to we that is super one na the environment. Also we they self alone, not to we no more didi. We get Liberia, we get Guinea, but Guinea on now he stand out more. Now he stand out more. But you know, remember, even they want them way a lot of time when they talk now, they want the way they go China. Now Guinea then they pass. Then they say it's cheap day. They don't mind, then take them Pijo then go Guinea. When they reach Guinea, then fly go. Then buy the market so then don't they fly come back. Now didn't they pass? And if we say the government no, they know. They know. They not go tell me say they don't know. And you want tell me say the government of Sierra Leone not be no say Coca-Cola, they want lock. They want lock that factory for me then go Guinea. We not get people away the lobby. We not get people away the lobby at all. We for able to go to them, for go lobby say, no, what's in the problem? Because if we are closed now, a lot of people then go unemployed. We hire a lot of people. What's in the bargain? But no, now for say me then close go. One people and say, oh, not too much tax. Another school of people and say, no, not too much tax. Now the person will be dead and they make corruption. Another one say, everybody they count in. Everybody they count in. Where do you want the way they lobby for make it be say things then go right in the country? Where they? So government they know, but they want for play on we the people of Sierra Leone. Those days have gone. When we talk about policy, a caller say, oh, we get the policy, them this and that. Yes, we get good policy, we get bad policies. There are policies, which is true. Good policy and bad policy. So, the policy they will get as alone, we get the policy demo, but it's not bad one day. We know they make the country, Sierra Leone itself, stand up tall na the region. So not to say the policy they know they. The governor say the talk begin like side talk. For say, you know it in, we not going able to go with this one Leone's business. We want for deal with dollars. And then say, okay, we go give una concession. But for me could do that concession day, we need for clear and go na parliament, we go table and day. Then if parliament agree, it go turn to law. Then una, I like the bank, it go up, it can on put in the kind law. Una cover. That blanket way parliament don't put una cover. This is an example for Uda for rutile according to the bank governor. And make an example for rutile according to the bank governor. So no matter the kind of law where the bank puts rutile, maybe na rutile no more be kind of mind that end. Maybe them boku safe. So now I make remember what I said the other day. Say before we they go and I think that was the time we be talk about the bank governor again. That time the 56 years of Bank of Sierra Leone. What in I say now? I don't say now. Make we start with what we get first. I say we get mining companies then at Sierra Leone, but they're not the benefit. Let's start with those ones. Don't begin telling me about waiting we know able for on athletes. That's why I be talking now, and I the bank governor self don't talk. Now you don't talk now. We mining sector for make like how you see the mines minister I left council say the president council left council take council so this one way come and I don't know if you go grab for council again or you go to parliament and go say yes we know say and so but we not agree with that plan day. If we now work with the new plan where we get, let's do it like this. No, don't like this. But from side talk, who said go pass na parliament? You feel saying for nothing? You feel saying for nothing? No. Even anti-corruption self, they're supposed for able for the check that we parliamentarian they are. They want the anti-corruption we don't tell we say. Anti-corruption and then tell we say then they begin vet for say if you they live above your means then they question you for that. You they can explain to them say okay you as a parliamentarian now this and this and this and this you get. So how you get 5 4 motokai they build 20 years. Anti-corruption for able for the vets there because most of the laws them na Sierra Leone now they didn't pass. That didn't pass. But when they want for waiting safe, then they come to the one them where they in their ministries them. But for make Sierra Leone anti-corruption begin work better one make we begin see. And for make we lawmakers them. Begin for face. But you don't ever, I can always repeat this now. You don't ever hear a parliamentarian, they tell you the power where they get. Think I need for Fender or the other again. For make a fan where, I don't forget which of this parliamentarian, where they explain the power of a parliamentarian. Where they feel say, even then, they're exempted. They're exempted. They're exempted. So now I make anti-corruption, go see, you go bend other side. You go see, you go bend other side. But with all them kickbacks, with all them, what's in the company, then go give them. Then go then pass bad law. They, me and you, as Sierra Leone and them, we suffer them. But they don't take what's in them for take. They don't take her. You say, the bank governor say, then they call it textbook economy. And he like that word today. Deepa, you say like the words are. Well, in the context where Salomon, they call you textbook economy, now for say, na right no more is a big right answer. You know, Sabi, implement within you the right. Somebody can catch me. He say, he want to talk to the power he please for appoint you. Say, make them make you the right no more. and they advise. Like how you do now. See, because even when you did it, you advise, then they hear you. And so somebody can catch me. Say, make a tell the say, because the advice you did it, you talk to me, you say, you, oh, now, the Ministry of Finance, that they do it, they do, you just did it for advice. So, they say that right way be right that time. We don't explain how you go change this economy. Now, him pass through the power, please. We watch him all man say, no, this man, if we give him, he go fix him. But for more, give you. Nothing, no commodity. Today, the explanation, the no more. Now they get. One explain after the other. But we'll tell you thank you because now you don't begin talk. But the next day they come for can't talk, sir. Go higher. Don't go low. Because if you go low, we know say I play cook. You know but one for talk. Eh? But I think it's a good thing. He got tired. If not tired, he won't tire. Or if he still say one can play with. Who don't call on a table now. Yes, who don't blow the trumpets. Who don't not be why understand, who don't not be yeri, who all yeri now. So for say just no, Yeri? Hey, Daddy God. All we want are the best for Sierra Leone. All we want are the best for Sierra Leone. And I make them in them way we feel say go just slip away like that. No, we go create a conversation around them. So down the road, then go say yes. We not go say, oh, we not being hearing. It's a good thing right now. We all get the power of social media as long as we use them to the best of our ability. What I mean, in a good way. We go promote Sierra Leone. We go make the leaders them na saloon able for no say now out of a genuine heart now we they come for can discuss with country. Because one word we then go say, oh now we then get free internet, how then get this, how then get that. But down the road, then go no. Then go definitely no. Bad policy. Bad policy. Bad laws. Yeah, this in blue. Heads are can and catch them. Pa waiting. Pa thief light. Then say no. They know the thief light. They say they don't even know that connector so. They say that heads are not in connector. Heads are saying no to the connector. At the end of the day, anti-corruption say, well, then tell them, make them fix them back properly. Flip all thing done. Now, the bank governor don't call the same radis in blue back. Same radis in blue, bank governor call them. Say then catch them, then they deal in dollars. Then we don't say, what's one for dealing? Not for dealing Leones. Police come. Then do it in and get for do. Law officers come. They say yes, then get case for answer. The next day, they say na them be say. They not say again. Then they don't. They ask the bank governor say, then guide in a street. 30 don't unable pull him. He say yes, not so we. Now the one they go for enforce the law. Now they're not able for do them. If you go ask police, just now waiting police go see. So I want to make you know see there is a bigger power behind the one them within our streets. They want the within our streets. The blanket we cover there. The bank governor, you know able am. Now we can't talk say, I mean then catch you. We even send the camera go work a day. The guy they explain. But they like it today. He woke. He no woke. He no woke at all. Julius Abangwa say, he said, what if the government lower the tax after waiting the governor say? That would be a plus for we all. That will be a plus for we all. If they lower the taxes. Because without the bank governor even saying that publicly, we don't decry Dandy from the day. Go back and go follow Sierra Network. From the day this particular administration come, where they increase, where they pull, where the world meets with who can do program on that. So I make the ground drier. I make things stronger. Because they waive all the subsidies then. Now the ports. Say because now they loopholes. They say then they close loopholes. How many loopholes then close? Just listening to the bank governor, how many loopholes you think he closed in Salone? How many? Or if you say then close some, they open new one? Or they pretend for close. For make me you feel say then they lock them loophole. But the one them where they left, look at the don't corner under. All we want now the best. That's what I keep saying. And the best we want for Salone. Don't forget to 1 minute video. Send them to the numbers the more we can announce. Now 2% send, now 2% you go see. 3% send, now 3% you go see. Then they go see. So do you own? Tell the government of Sierra Leone why you want to go back na Salone. Why you don't want to go back na Salone. What thing they keep you back? What thing they make you run come? 1 minute. Send them to we. Friday na the cutoff time. And on Sunday, the video go there na do. Ghana by say where the fake dollar? They don't give the boys in the street. Somebody can catch me. Somebody can catch me, say that fake dollar na fake one. Look left us so. Now we a man of them defend them for scared people. That's what somebody say. But follow me on YouTube. You go see everything there and you go make up what thing you think about that dollar day. I'll tell us, say the politician there, some of them, they not be seen. See some of them right now, then they sip them wine and they smoke cigar. See, but left them one, then they know to the diaspora, then they don't get free internet. So if I say, a big hole they open now. I tell you, say, not to me say. Mariam Ibrahim say they open new one, and I didn't say. Al-Haji Selassie is saying, sure, by now the government don't understand. All businessmen for Sierra Leone are heading to other countries unless they lower the taxes. You know, you say NRA they talk. If NRA talk now how much money they know is, then they don't care. The government give them targets, and then one meets that target. How then they meet the target? By raising money. Matilda J. Cole say, he said the fake dollar na breeze. Mamaya? Salone, a place. Leone Parliament corrupt and selfish. Zike say, now we country, regardless of the laws, now only the president now go begin a genuine change. You need to get rid of the sacred cow them. We'll go there back tomorrow. We don't try. We try to deal with yesterday. We try to don't come late today. Tomorrow back we'll get another one. Gandobai say then even tax street seller way in market now worth even $30 now, so then they get the taxes. Ayana salon for no. No, I say coconuted. What so? But make your video and send them so that your voice go be heard. Make your video, send them, your voice go be heard. I don't know it's written right. I don't know if I forget anything. Abdullah bin Maga say, he say for tell the governor say I need to go get a percentage if you work well. If you believe. Okay. All right. We'll make you luck here for today. We go there back tomorrow till we meet again. To keep policy.